$100,000 invested is the holy grail of investing, and in this video, I'll show you why you need to do everything you can to get that invested as soon as possible. I'll also end this video with a bunch of ways you can actually save your first $100,000 that I've either used personally or my private clients are using right now to supercharge their net worth. The rich get richer. Money works harder for you than you can. It takes money to make money. All of these phrases are cute, but also very true. And they're all true because of this thing called scale of capital. Now, since I am a university professor, I love a good example to help drive home the lecture point. So let's take a real example. In the last full year, one of my favorite growth ETFs, QQQ, has appreciated a little over 31%. Now let's say there's 3 people that invested 1 year ago into this exact same ETF. One invested $1,000 1 year ago. He made 31% and profited $310. His total is now $1,310. The next person invested $10,000 and she earned 31% in QQQ, so her profit was $3,100, giving her a new total of $13,100. The final person had invested $100,000 and earned that same 31%, giving him a profit in 1 year of $31,000 and a new total of $131,000. Notice that nothing changed for either of them. The person with more money didn't invest in some crazy rich people only investment. The only difference was the amount of money that was actually there to work with and grow from. So the rich definitely do get richer in investing, but it's actually much more attainable than you think, which is why I tell you that you need to focus everything you can on getting that first $100,000. Don't get me wrong, $100,000 is a lot of money, but I'll show you that once you hit that, you are off to the races and your net worth explodes. I'll also show you that getting to that $100,000 is much easier than you think. Along with the scale of capital, the other term that you need to understand and get excited about is compound interest. Compound interest is the whole reason I got excited about investing so many years ago, and it's this idea that not only are you earning interest on the money you invest, but eventually you also start earning interest on the interest, and it just keeps snowballing from there. Understanding this example is going to show you how you can actually get rich much faster. And with investing, I'd love to use the average return of QQQ, which has been a little over 18% over the past 10 years. But I know that my little keyboard warriors in the comment section are going to have a field day.
18% per year is unrealistic, Professor G.
Except I'm literally just using the factual data that's actually happened over the last 10 years as an example. But I digress. If you were just to work super hard and save your money, not invest your money, just save it, and you saved $1,000 per month, it'll take you about 8.3 years for you to get that $100,000 saved up. If instead you invested that $1,000 a month, at a number that most people won't get mad at, which is an average of 10% that you earned every year. If one were to invest $1,000 per month and earn 10% per year, it would take about 6.5 years to hit $100,000. Remember that before, without compound interest and all you're doing is saving, it would take you about 8.3 years. So this shaves 2 years off that time. That's just the beginning of the fun. It took about 6.5 years to get to your first $100,000, but then only about 4 years to get to the next at $200,000. And to get to $300,000 total, only about 3 years after that. By year 25, you're well over $1 million, and you can see on that graph how sharp of an increase it starts making. Looking at a 40-year chart, the numbers just get insane. Look at this increase, and it's basically all compound interest. From year 39 to year 40, there's almost $500,000 of growth, and that's just pure compound interest alone in 1 year. Remember that all that was possible with a good ETF or index fund averaging 10% per year. The S&P 500 has statistically brought that type of appreciation every year, but there are other ETFs out there that are actually crushing that number consistently. Make sure that when you go to choose your investment, however, that you don't only base everything off of what the ETF has done recently or even only in the last 10 years, because past performance doesn't guarantee future performance. I like to stick with ETFs and index funds that have a rich history of at least 10 years, but but I'm hoping for 20 or 30 years so I can see what they've done in different market downturns, different type of recessions, what's happened in economic times, whether it's been good or bad, so that I know what to kind of expect. As far as how to save that $100,000 even faster, I made this very short YouTube video on actual ways that you can save your first $100,000. Some of these come from world-renowned investor, the late Charlie Munger, and he was one of the wisest to ever do it. And if you'd like some tips on exactly what to invest in, check this video out too.